They were like, how are you, like, how are you processing? How is everything happening or going? And I said, God unlocked a new level of love I did not know existed.
Straight up.
When the way God allowed people to love on me, and I'm not gonna cry,
Is she out?
fuck that. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. The way He allowed people to love on me during that experience, or even now, like even still, has blown my mind. I was like, I thought I knew love, but people, I saw God in the love that people were giving to me. And it was almost like God is saying, I'm kind of, not kind of, in the same fashion that God placed himself inside of Jesus and came down here to experience us. God placed his love in the people that he surrounded around me to let me know that it was his love. Crazy. I don't even know if I explained that right.
Yeah, but yes, those who don't know. Right?
I'm just saying, like, crazy. Like, God has been. And then on January 7th, I went to the oncologist. Yes. And and he told me, you are cancer free. We got all the cancer out. I was like, I'm sorry.
Yes.
What? I done went through this processing and acceptance and okay.
We had already rallied how we was gonna get Chica here. Yeah, he had already figured out what airline we was like. We had already had stuff at the functions and cleared.
My line sisters, shout out to Amanda and all my line sisters. They sent me a beautiful care package. Amanda sent me Harry Potter scarf, gloves, socks, and a hat for when I had to do chemo because it'd be cold in there. I was like, y'all really love me. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And so, just, yeah, when he told me that, I was just like, I'm sorry, wait, okay, because like I was here a couple of weeks ago and they had said, and now you're saying, but like nothing happened, like I didn't do nothing, you didn't do nothing, like what? So what happened? And then so he was just like, yeah, like when they removed the tumor, um, the 28 or some odd lymph nodes all tested negative for it. And so that was like the greatest blessing. And then I just sat with that and I'm like, I don't feel like I can say that I beat cancer. I didn't beat cancer. God beat cancer for me. That's crazy. Like,
It's big, big. It was. And then soon as he called and was like, oh, she's okay. I was like, I knew that.
God is so amazing. Like, and granted, it's a bit of a journey because I am younger, right? For colon cancer, people in their 40s go normally get it or whatever. So, I did go through all, like, I am still, but I did go through like the final genetics testing and everything. And, I do have Lynch syndrome.
Okay.
Which is from a mutated gene.
Okay.
It's genetics. So I either got it from my mom or my dad, which excuse me, they have to now go through testing and everything for my nephew and my baby sisters. But to find out, but it was inevitable. It was like it was going to happen because I have the gene. And so now I just have all, life is just a little bit different, which now I have to get all of these yearly screenings for cancers because I am a little bit more susceptible to, not a little bit more susceptible. My risk is higher for contracting colon cancer again, and uterine cancer as well. So there's some things around that. But it's, again, I'm still processing all of it.
Yes. And it's still a part. And I know, and that's why I'm so thankful for you for doing this so soon. January was like last night.
Yeah.
Right. So the fact that you're sharing it, but I wanted you to share it so that people can see the trauma, but they can see the triumph.
Yes.
And the grace and the glory that people just don't understand both sides sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes the trauma and the triumph can happen simultaneously.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Yeah. You don't realize what you don't always realize what God is doing, but you have to be open, right? Again, like I was saying earlier, yes, the thing happened. And I'm not saying that my thoughts didn't go negative. I'm not perfect. I'm far from that. I just know what helps me. I know what puts me in a better place. And I'm always probably the Sagittarius in me is always trying to like move forward with things. And so it's like I allow myself to feel and experience, but I can't stay and dwell in those places because I've been in seasons in the past, right, where I stayed in the darkness a little too long.
Yeah.
Yes. And I feel like God allows even those seasons, but what wisdom is knowing what happened in the past and making a different decision in the present, right? And so it's like, so for me, it's like, okay, I know it's okay to be in the darkness and embrace the darkness because we can't have the light without the darkness. But the darkness has a time limit. And like you can't remain there because then you'll become content.
Yeah.
And complacent. And from there nothing grows, right? And so it's like I was afraid and I was scared and I was angry and I was sad.
It's a roller coaster of emotions, first of all.
Yes.
First of all,
roller coaster is not even a good enough word. I feel like we need new words for things.
Like it was a bad relationship. It was really domestic violence internally. See, and you know, domestic, and I was a domestic violence survivor. So this is no joke or play on word, but it was literally internal DV. Like answer, you are pulling it.
You are pulling it. You are in my body. Y'all, my body fought for me. That's crazy. My body was fighting for me. My body was like, yo, it's something in here. I don't know what it is, but it can't stay. So we got to put you in a little pain so you can go see some people so they can take this out. Because this is not finna.
But I will say this too. Certain things of that magnitude happen to certain individuals. So, because God wants to show you a certain thing. Yeah, he wants you to move in a certain way. Whether that's moving in the physical, moving in the spiritual realm. Like, those things it's almost like see, told you I got you.
Yep. You worried. I told you I was going to come through.
And it's really, and then you be like, that's my dog.
Yes. You be like, I knew you was going to do it. I knew you was going to do what happened was. Yeah.
You see that? And even in that, so speaking to that, with you saying that it's hereditary, and because I did look that up, because, you know, soon as Nee told me, I was like, it's this. They said it was hereditary. However, for individuals who are of the Black and Brown community, my prior doctor at Cedars-Sinai, Dr. Roxar, he's a hematology oncologist. He said to me, which is very pivotal, he does a lot of science, researching the science of it all. And he said a lot of the research that they had done showed that those who navigated certain cancers lacked a huge deficiency in vitamin D.
Yep.
Specifically to those of color. So when I got this amazing package in the mail from Black Girl Vitamins, now see, I don't co-sign or partner or even receive anything that I can't really just vouch for and be like, it works.
Facts.
Right? So, you know, the hair, skin, nails, you see, I, got my braids done. My hair is the size of a mustard seed, but it wasn't nothing before. But when I tell you I tore up the vitamin, is it going to fall? Is it going to fall?
That's it. You like it up? There it is.
When I tell you the D3, I have been religiously because Dr. Roxar said that. And as a Black woman, try these.
Yes. I was going to say, give me one of these.
As a Black woman, and they're good too.
As a Black Girl Vitamin.
Shout out.
Oh,
as a culture, we have a problem taking vitamins. And so taking medicine is one thing, but we lack consistency in even taking the nutrients that we need for our body.
Facts.
That we're lacking. And as you're getting older, you only become more deficient in those things.
Yep. Very true.
So when you have a brand such as Black Girl Vitamins, who's specifically speaking to the Black woman, the Black girl who really needs to take more care of her health, because that is the power.
Yep.
That is empowerment.
Yes.
Is really making sure that your insides match the outside.
Yes.
Understanding that a lot of these diseases or certain things have a link to a deficiency in something.
Yep. Very true.
So if you do your research, vitamin D, you got them in a form of a gummy through Black Girl Vitamins. You have them however you choose to take it. Just just see what you can tweak.
Yeah.
Just see what you can tweak as a person.
Yep.
Go to your doctor and see. I get a panel every 3 months of what I'm lacking.
Yes.
I told my doctor, shout out Dr. Cooper at AIDS Healthcare Foundation. She is incredible. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go get this B12 shot because I'm tired all the time. And she was like, no, that's not going to do. She was like, that's not going to do anything because you're not deficient in it.
Right.
She was like, so you're not going to feel any different. She said, before you do anything, make sure you go to your doctor and see what you're lacking so you can increase that. And you'll be surprised the difference you'll have in energy.
Yes.
Your metabolism, your bone strength. Like, it's literally sometimes just that little tweak that we could just do and knowledge that we have. I would have never known if Dr. Rockstar didn't say anything. So I'm saying all of that to say we have to educate ourselves.
We have to.
Because it's more than diet and working out. Oh, it's more to it than that.
It's listening to your body and being in tune with your body. Fun fact about me, which Keisha knows, everyone that's close to me knows, but I love cucumbers. And I would still love cucumbers.
And a tomato.
And a tomato. Maybe listen. But at one point, I was obsessed with cucumbers, so much to the point where I was craving them like probably a pregnant woman craves crazy things. And I was eating like 6 cucumbers a day. Come to find out, it was due to an iron deficiency. When I went to my doctor and they were like, oh, and I just happened to be like, yeah, I've been eating cucumbers like crazy. And they were like, cucumbers? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, when you say like crazy, and I'm like I gotta eat like at least 6 a day. I'm definitely at Ralph's selling them out of cucumbers. It's me. I'm buying all the cucumbers, and they were like, "Huh, that's interesting." And then that's when they ran the test, and she was like, "Well, we figured out your cucumber mystery, and while I still love a good cucumber, your girl is no longer eating 6 a day."
And it was in something that's simple. You're just like, oh, I love meat though. Cucumbers. Yeah, and it's a whole link to something else.
It's a whole, I'm thinking I just love cucumbers. Meanwhile, my body is like, ma'am, we need a little iron, something, please, help, anything. And I had no idea. And it's also still weird, because my doctors were like, that's really weird because the cucumbers and iron don't necessarily have anything to do with one another, but iron deficiencies do show up differently, and cravings is one of them. And so I was like, that was so interesting. So listen to your body. If there's something that's happening more frequently or less frequently, go get your panels tested for like see what you're low in, and shout out to your doctor, because that's so true. I used to work for a holistic spa, and that would happen all the time because we gave vitamin injections, and people would come in there and not get certain results. And it's like, well, first of all, you were here last week and you got the same injection. Maybe, just maybe, you're injectioned out. Like maybe you are not deficient in that particular vitamin. You may need to go get tested to make sure, which is why you're not getting results you think you should be getting. Maybe there's something else that you're deficient in that you should probably be getting an injection for. So it's very true.
It's very true. And I didn't know. And when he said it, I was like, so that's it? You just finna prescribe me? I'm here telling you that my legs is weak, and you tell me.
I'm trying to tell you.
Right. And he was absolutely right. Yeah. He did a panel at Cedars, and literally a week later, he called me and told me to come get a prescription for, I believe it was like 10,000 UD or something of that nature. It was a high level of it. And he was just like, you need to take this. And I literally started to see my legs getting stronger.
See?
And mixing it with vitamin K. Who knew that if you mix the 1 and the 2, it's just the little things. Who knew? You know, and I'm just like, okay, Keish, it's more to it than just juicing and fasting, and it's more to it than that. And now that I know all the components because I'm educated,
Yep.
now I can do what I need to do because early onset colorectal cancer is real.
Oh,
For us being 40, that's considered early.
yes. 40s is early for colorectal cancer.
That's early.
Yep.
So it's a thing.
Yep.
Right? And so when your body says something and you go to the doctor and they try to hit you with the, oh, well, you know, we don't need to do a colonoscopy because you're too young. Yeah, advocate for yourself. You tell them, okay, if you won't hear me, somebody else will. And who's above you so I can do what I need to do to get what I'm telling you I need done. I need you to look.
Yeah, 1,000%. I had no idea about any of this until my experience happened. And so now I'm like, okay, wow, I never knew anything about the age of colon cancer, or that 40 was young for getting colon cancer, or that I wouldn't have been able to get a colonoscopy unless I advocated for it prior to this. Now, obviously, because I'm a cancer survivor, I have to.
That's something that they're gonna do
every year. But if I wasn't, it would be something I would have to fight for. But things worth having are worth fighting for. Your health is worth fighting for. We can't leave our fate in the hands of others, right? Especially when educating yourself is the best option. It's like, yeah, you don't want to read the labels on the back of the food when you're in the grocery store, but if it's going to save your life, take 2 extra seconds and read to see if it has something in it there that's not good for you, right? Or you don't want to change the foods that you eat, but I mean, is that gravy really worth it? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like, do you want another 10 years or you just want this gravy right now? That's crazy. Like,
because doodling sounds so good.
And balance. You know what I mean? Like, life's about balance. Half the thing, just everything in moderation. Everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation. For sure. For sure. And I just, it's so important that, you know, trauma comes in so many forms. Trauma comes generational.
Yep.
Trauma comes in the experiences that happen to us. And if we don't deal with those traumas, what form they come in, and really process,
yep,
there's no way we can ever heal to be able to get to the triumph. There's no way.
No.
There's no way, because what's going to happen is we're going to start to act out and live out things on behalf of our trauma.
Right.
And it's going to mess up the open door to our triumph.
Yep. So true.
You know, and really having a solid foundation and platform in a spiritual relationship is very key. And that's, I guarantee, and I know for sure, as one of you being one of my closest friends, I learned from you. Like, just, okay, let me pray. not just in the morning and night.
Right. I be talking, look, I know I get on God's nerves. I be talking to him about everything. Like, okay, Lord.
Listen, you know, cancer, I turned into Tasha Cobb. I ain't even going.
Listen, let me tell you something.
I turned into Sarah G.
Let me tell you something.
I ain't even going because it makes you lean into,
yes,
you have no choice.
Yes.
When you're in that amount of pain and your life is just like, right, you have no other choice but then to lean.
Yes.
You know, because you can't lean on the people, because the people around you are trying not to break on behalf of your circumstance.
Yeah.
So you have no choice.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so true. And when and embracing that season while you're leaning, right? The word tells us, and again, for the Bible thumpers, this is my paraphrasing, but like, blessed are those who are going through trials and tribulation, who are going through the things that are terribly considered in life, because you're closer to God. Mm-hmm. Because then it gives God an opportunity to come in and be God. We live in a world where society tells us we are in control
all the time.
We have to control the narrative
every time.
You are in control of your life, and a lot of people will disagree with me in that, but I don't believe we are in control of our lives. We're in control of ourselves and our decision. How we govern ourselves. How we govern ourselves. But things that happen outside of you, you have no control over. This is not your world. We are guests here. And so, when you're going through things that are not things that happen by your own hand, when it's something that's happened outside of you, lean into God, because now God can be God. In a world where society tells you that you are God, allow God to be God.
Listen, I was the main one not letting him be. You know, he went cancer came. When I tell you he stripped me of that pretty, you know, I pride myself on a good heel.
Listen,
looking pretty.
Yes,
right.
You are a pretty girl.
Listen, God was like, not during this season. You're not.
He like, you're not wearing no heels on my dime.
No.
Yes.
And it shook me. But what it did was it renewed me in a way to where I couldn't operate in just that.
Yeah.
I couldn't operate in just the pretty. I had to operate in the assignment. I had to operate in what he's telling me to do. He was telling me to tell my story regardless of what heel I had on, what hair I had on, what beat face I had. He was telling me to tell it regardless of what it looks like. So now that I got the message, now she's back sitting pretty.
There it is. There it is.
Right? So, Shay, the fact that you came.
Thank you for having me. I am honored. I'm so excited to be.
And two, I didn't want to dive deep into this part of trauma, but I do want to dedicate this episode to your brother, Jay.
Oh.
And we're not gonna dive deep. Jay was like my brother. He was like Ray. Yes. You know, we didn't see each other all the time, but you know, Jay's like bubbling like Ray. Yes. So I know that's tough for you. Like it was just you and him.
Yes. It's been very difficult. You never think you're gonna lose your younger sibling. Definitely did not imagine doing this life without him, but he fulfilled whatever purpose God had for him to fulfill, and it was his time to go. And while that's still partially unbelievable, you know, I understand how life works. I understand that we're all passing through here. We're all here for a purpose, and once you've served your purpose, then it's time for you to move on. And does that suck because the person you love, you no longer get to see and you don't know if you'll ever see them again? Yeah. But I'm grateful that he impacted whoever he impacted, how he impacted. Like, if he ever popped up at your house,
Right.
If he ever borrowed some money from you, or if he ever tried to sell you on a dream scheme that he was picking up. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he ever just randomly picked you up and y'all rode around, like, thank you for loving on him and opening the door for him.
And for you to have that outlook helps other people who are grieving. Still. And for me, I've lost my grandfather, but I don't know what it is to lose a sibling. I can imagine that that's a continuous thing.
Oh, yeah. Your sibling knows things about you nobody else knows about.
Right.
And that's crazy because you don't think about that when they're here. Okay. Like, I think about so many things and experiences in life that happened between just me and Jay, and now he's gone. Sounds like I have these memories, but nobody to really like bounce them off of. I can tell you it's still ain't gonna hit because you weren't there. You know?
And it's crazy because he's gone, but you have Jace.
But Jace is here. He left his whole face on my nephew's head.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
But you've handled it with such grace.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I mean, listen, we will all lose, but we will all fight. Yeah.
Yes. And what I do love about you is when we talked about it in September, you'll have your moments where you cry and then you're like, oh God, it's so good. And I'll be like, oh, I want to be in the group she is.
You're stupid.
Because you just have this peace over you that's impeccable, Shay Shay.
I cannot, God will get all the glory because that.
Like, you're the peace, Nini's the brain, and I'm just like, huh?
Baby, you are the diva, and you are the soldier. You are the strong survivor is what you are.
Listen, Shaysha, I love you. Thank you so much for coming. This episode is, Jay is here. Jay is at the Jay is, our producer.
He in this thing.
He in this thing. I'm so happy that God did his big one. I'm more than happy to go through all of that pain so you won't have to endure it, because I don't want to see any of my good sisters or my bestest friends go through anything that I went through, because, you just didn't have to. And God knew exactly what.
Yes. And listen, when I tell you I love you more than you will ever know, I love you more than you will ever know. And I will always be here for you, no matter what it is. I am here.
Let me tell you, real quick, before we go, when I tell you BaldyCon, when I went to BaldyCon, shout out to BaldyCon, but everything that could go wrong that weekend for me went wrong that weekend, starting with landing at Atlanta, Hartsfield Jackson. And when I tell you, I called my two beautiful friends on FaceTime, because I am the mother to an awesome, autistic, beautiful brown girl who's amazing. And my daughter just had a rough time on the flight and turned that airport upside down. And when I tell you, I had my good sisters on FaceTime, and Shay was like, Journey? Journey was not feeling me. However, it was like, I say thank you on camera because y'all understood it's like y'all saw me in that moment as a mom navigating the way I do. And it's not easy, but y'all are just always so graceful with me, with Journey. Y'all are like my second brain, because sometimes I was like,
Listen.
she won't even let me do it here, Lord. And my friends be like, Journey, you need to listen to your mom. And I'll be like, if she does, if she doesn't.
It's okay. You have a village that is,
and I love it.
We are lined up ready to support at any given moment. And God did not create us for ourselves. He created us for each other. So if you can't call your homegirl,
right. Who else can I call? And I love that for y'all. When I tell you, y'all BaldyCon weekend, y'all saw me, because it was rough. It was hard out there for a mother pimp, okay? But I love y'all for just never judging.
Of course not.
Being sisters, and just, not making me feel like, as a mom, since I don't have the answers, it's a bad thing. But your village is here to, how can we help?
Yes.
So that's a thank you that I'm going to just send to the universe.
Well, you are having forever, you're welcome, and you never have to thank us for anything. And it doesn't matter if you don't, nobody has all the, don't listen to all you people out there that think you have all the answers. I'm here to tell you that you don't. You do not. No one has all the answers. None of us know what they're doing.
And life will be like, bye. No, you don't.
Life will life. And it will. So if you think you got all the answers right now, just keep living. Eventually, it's going to happen.
Well, Shad, thank you so much. First of all, this is the first episode back of the new season, because the last season I have so many episodes in the archive. God was like, you ain't gonna release them. We're gonna do this a little different. Yeah. We're gonna run that back turbo. And when I went to my knees with God, I said, look, yes. And it was Shay Shay immediately. So I'm so happy that you're kicking off this March Women's History Month, because you are absolute Black excellence on Black history. I love you, Shay.
Thank you, Keisha. I love you more.